Why wouldn't you look at a more permanent reduction in taxes over the long term? Like, if they are out of pocket on that, is your government open to addressing that? If all this good stuff, as you say, is going to happen, I can't really comprehend why you're only doing it for 2 months, unless it's just naked politics. If the argument for it right now is that it's going to boost sales, that it's going to make life more affordable, that people will be able to buy groceries, like, why isn't that something that your government then, if they believe so voraciously in the moment, willing to do on a more permanent basis?
The honourable member for Scarborough Agincourt.
Mr. Speaker, the government is introducing a 2-month tax break for all Canadians. After all their talk about cutting taxes, you would expect the Conservatives to walk the walk and support this measure, but they voted against it.
Isn't it important for people to be able to afford those things going on more, 6 months from now, 7 months from now?
Can the Minister of Small Business speak more about what the government is doing to make life better and safer for Canadians and businesses?
If tax cuts make life more affordable for Canadians, why aren't you looking at doing it on a permanent basis?
Honourable Minister for Small Business.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives are all talk and no action. Starting December 14, Canadians will get a GST holiday.
I still have yet to see any data point to back up the point that your government is making. But
the Conservatives talk about axing the tax, but they voted against removing the GST off groceries and family essentials.
This isn't a permanent reduction in taxes for small businesses, or rather for Canadians. It's just for 2 months.
Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Innovation.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we know that the only thing the Conservatives are serving up for Christmas dinner are stale slogans. What's appalling is to understand how the Conservative Party of Canada won't step up to support a tax break with all their obsession about tax cuts.
If the tax holiday is, as you and your cabinet colleagues have said, going to help Canadians so much with affordability, going to help sales for small and medium businesses so much, why are you only doing it for 2 months?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Innovation.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives want to talk about tax tricks.
This is very, with great respect, you're saying that it will. I see no data point from your government that actually proves that will be the case.
A GST holiday for Canadians on essentials over the next 2 months is a good thing.
Is it just that way because you say it is? Again, the question was about whether or not businesses who don't see what you are saying is going to happen, or who do have to incur a cost in order to augment their systems, their point-of-sale systems, to incorporate this new policy.
I don't know how they can deny the support that Canadians deserve.
So if they're out of pocket on this, there's nothing from the federal government to compensate for them.
Woodbridge.
Mr. Speaker, the government has introduced a GST tax break during the holiday season that will help Canadians keep more money in their pockets, especially families with young children who need it most.
Another group that represents industry, I know you're familiar with them, the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, mostly small to medium-sized businesses, said they pulled 3,500, small firms, 3,500 between November 26 and 27. 62% of the businesses required to implement this tax holiday oppose it. Only 4% of those small business owners believe that they will have, as you are arguing, stronger sales as a result. What data do you have, or what do you know, essentially, that they don't?
Meanwhile, the Conservative leader and his party voted against this holiday tax break, all while they keep preaching to be in favour of tax cuts and helping Canadians. Can the Minister of Diversity and Inclusion please tell us what this federal government is doing to support hardworking Canadians during the Christmas season? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Minister for Diversity and Inclusion.
Mr. Speaker, it is indeed ironic that the Conservative leader, who loves to talk about cutting taxes, was quick to vote against the very tax cut that would put real money back in the pockets of Canadians. Mr. Speaker, we have already cut taxes for middle class and small businesses, and now with this GST cut, we're giving even more support for families.
Do you have a proof point beyond what Restaurants Canada is saying? Because they're the only industry group I can find that is endorsing the plan as you put it. And it's why I asked for more data to back up the assertion that this is going to help all small businesses.
It's too bad, Mr. Speaker, that the Conservatives are only allowed to serve the needs of their leader rather than their own constituents. Our government will continue to focus on what matters, and that is delivering for Canadians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So if it does just shift sales, and there is a data set that shows you that, will you address that with businesses, or is it just you've decided this will benefit them and we'll leave it at that?